Hello, how are you? This is Jilly Bling, and I have a fourth project to share using Darling Details Bundle. So there it is. Okay, wait for it. Can you see the inside? It's a little bit thick. I have to admit, it's a little excessive. You ready? What? Look at that. Yeah, went a little crazy on this one, but somehow just love it. So check out these little bling. And then on here, aren't those just the cutest? Those are, oh, I have it buried. I'll show you in just a minute. And then this die comes in Darling Details. And these are just little flat sequins. Here, I have that on top. That is loose silver sequins. Are you liking the ribbon too? The ribbon is an online exclusive, and it comes in a 2-pack with gold and silver, and I just love it. So if you're looking at this card, you're thinking, that looks kind of familiar. It is. Excuse me. So this was done with a stamp set that retired in May. It's called Splendid Thoughts. Very simple, but I had the idea that I just had to do something a little fancy, and this is it. Okay, you ready to get started? Okay, Darling Details, Stitch Greenery, tailor-made tags, circles, dies, not too many stamp pads, Memento, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock. Okay, let's go. Picker-upper tool. So here are all kinds of papers and things. I have a frog in my throat. Okay, so paper base, simply fold in half, and I'll have all the paper cut sizes on my blog, and my blog is jillybling.com. And I have one more project to make, so it's 5 different designs. And I might be able to do that tonight because I plan on it being simple. After this over the top and yeah, you put too much on there, the next one will be simple. Okay, so next is Stitch Greenery. Look at this die. I love this die. I want to use it on everything. So I just put it on here. I'm going to run it through. Okay, so that just goes on the top. Let's do that now. I'm going to use tear tape just because there's texture on it. And if you put it on with regular tape, it might lift off. But you know what? The Stampin' Seal is pretty strong, so that probably would work pretty good. I'm almost out of this. I think I have another roll down in my little side compartment, but I love this stuff. I think we use it just one other place on this project, so might be enough. Then take your bone folder to make sure the tear tape is attached before I pull off that paper covering. So this sparkly peacock paper is in the catalog on the specialty papers tab. And that page has so many different fancy papers on it. I probably should try to find it. Here, I'll do that in just a minute. I think many times they're kind of overlooked just because there's so much on there. But after you see it in use, you're like, where is that? Okay, here we go. Specialty paper is on page, right here, 127. And this one right here is this paper right here. Number 7, it is titled Soft Shimmer. And it comes in Bubble Bath, Berry Burst, Night of Navy, Lost Lagoon, and Pretty Peacock. Very pretty. Does that sound right? Bubble Bath, Berry Burst, Night of Navy, Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock. This one just had me stumped. That to me looks more like Pool Party, but probably standing all by itself it does look like Lost Lagoon. Okay, so we have that done. So let's do what's next. It goes on the inside. All these pieces. Okay, here we go. So these get stuck together. Oh, that's pretty. Could I do that? So this one has the leaves on it, which kind of go with these leaves. That one has leaves on it. I'm going to try it. Isn't it funny? So many times I flip over the paper, it's like, oh, look at that. That would work. Oh, and this paper is from Irresistible Blooms, and it's an online exclusive. And I'll put all of the products used for this project and, oh, the other projects. Let me show you the other projects. In the description of this video. And if you click on the link, it will show you all the products used on this project. So this is a Gotta Have It box where if you purchase the bundle through me before July 10th, I'll send you the 5 card kits for free. And this is number 4. This is the 3rd one. Isn't that sweet? And this is the 2nd one. And the 1st one. I love the dies that go with this. This one is just a little bit different where it just flops open. Where this one could be more of an easel card where it tucks right in behind these flowers. And the 2 different bouquets. This is the back side of the bunny paper. Okay, let's do today's project. Okay, so we have that. So next is the tag. Oh, this is for doing the flowers. I should get all these things pulled out. Let's see what we have. Tag goes on here. Circle. Circle. This is for 3 of this flower. This one is for 2 of these. Well, you know, this one, I don't know. I'll show you what it's for, but I don't know if we're going to use it. I didn't use it on the sample card. It's for these little bitty leaves, and I love them, but this card I've already put so much on, I thought it's just going to make it more busy. So that's for those. And 3 of these are for this white circle. 3 of these are for fancy scallop circle. This little paper is for this little banner. And are you saying, where's that little banner? I'll show you. It is right here on this one. This is for stamping the flowers. We could do that before we start cutting stuff out. This is for the ribbon holder. Inside, I don't remember. Inside. Okay, so let me stamp the 3 little flowers for right here. And that's going to be stamped in Pretty Peacock. And I'm going to do them all 3 separate because I'm going to use the die to cut them out. Oh, but you know what, while I'm at it, let me do these 3 that are close together. I'll show you where these come into play. So these three that I'm going to use this die on, then these are hand cut just for the center of this spray. Just having the two pieces of silver foil put together, it needs a little something to cover it up. Okay, I think we've used all the dies, so hold on. Okay, lots of little pretty, beautiful pieces. So next on here, let's stamp just a note, and that's stamped in Memento Black. Tuxedo Black, Memento, just a note. Okay, and we could put that on, right on here. That can go right here. How's that? I kind of like this background. Okay, and then next is the larger circle, and I say larger because it's compared to these that are just a little bit smaller. There's 3 of the smaller ones and 1 of the larger. So I'm going to find the circle, the scallop circle, and use the blending brush to put that little pool party hue behind the flower. And it's kind of nice to do it a little bit dark so that the flower stands out more. The first time I did it, it was light. I put the flower on top. It's like, it gets lost on there. Then when I put more color onto the circle, it looked good. Look how nice. Can you see these little sparkly gems with the ribbon, how nice it looks together? And these black, I really like those. I got those just, it's like, oh, let me get a few more items so that I could hit the 150 mark. Adhesive back sparkle gems. I am loving these. And I really like the gold copper color, but I'm not quite sure where to use them yet. Obviously they don't go on, maybe on the next card. But I like those. Okay, back on task. Blending brush, and I know all of the white gets a little blending brush. So see the pool party there? Pool party, pool party, pool party, blending brush, and down here. So I should probably pull out those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. Pool party, 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's blending brush time. And sometimes it's good to see how much ink you still have on your brush. Sometimes you might have enough. More. Because 2 of these, 3 of them, are going to be holding that white flower. They need to be a little bit heavy blending brushed. Because if I put this on top, see how you could see it pretty well? I do it darker. I don't know if I could do it darker. It's a light color. I wonder if I can. There. Now my fingers don't have to be in the middle of it. Oh, that works good. Who knew? Usually I'd have my fingers and I would leave finger marks and no color marks. Okay, I'm going to be doing that from now on. And you know, this isn't perfectly blending. I see little like darker spots and lighter, and it's a little bit heavy around the edges. but that's going to be really nice for showing up those white flowers. Well, learn something new every day, and I like how this is working. I always have scrap paper laying around. So today I went to the Pine Needlers monthly get-together, which is fun. They are quilters, but I'm not a quilter. I kind of wish to be a quilter, but I don't have any more time in the day to dedicate to another hobby. And I tried quilting before, and I like it and all, but Lisa said, why don't you come? And I'm getting to know the girls a bit there. And she goes, just bring your cards. And I said, I have so many cards that I need to just color. So I went and I had a good time. And they do potluck. Those girls do it right. So there's a hostess for each month, and she determines the main course. And then everyone else brings like a side to go with it. Oh my gosh. You don't leave there hungry, and everything is really good, like made by people that they're quilters, they're crafty, like all the salads and the fruit. I don't know, maybe I was hungry, but everything was exceptional. Then I was supposed to be going out to lunch dinner, early dinner with a friend, and I got there and I said, Diane, I had to tell you, I kind of had a late lunch and I'm not hungry. I said, I'll watch you have lunch, if you don't mind, and I'll just have a soda. She goes, I did the same thing. So we just sat there and we had a soda and talked for a few hours. That was really nice. Anyhow, Pine Needlers, they've been getting together for years, and they did show and tell, where they would show what project they're working on, and some of the girls were knitting, and others were doing quilting, and it was a fun day. And after being there for a few hours, starting to talk, I got maybe 3 cards. All I had to do, didn't have to make the card, didn't have to assemble it, I just had to color it. I only got like 3, maybe 4 cards done, and that's it, the whole day. Well, it was from 11 until 2. That's a card an hour. That's bad. And it was a small card too. It was Silly Goose. Ooh, look at my glue going. Does it go back? Nope. Doesn't go back in. But that was fun. They get together once a month. Okay, so I'm going to stamp on one of these, friend, just because that's what is on this one. Friend in black. Okay, then I'm afraid to open this glue. Now it's almost out. Okay, and this next one, these other 2 just get put on there. There's no stamping on them. So Tony is, what about the big one? Tony is off at a concert, and I was going to go with him, and then Emma says, oh, I'll go. I'm like, okay, I'll stay home, because it's Nickelback. It's his favorite band. He's been trying to get to this concert since before COVID. I think it's the third time he's bought tickets, and one thing or another, it gets canceled and they refund everything. But in the meantime, there's hotel, and one of the times we were sitting there at dinner, checked into the hotel, having dinner before the concert, and then we heard about it. From the girls sitting next to us, they started going, oh my gosh. We're like, what's going on with them? Anyhow, he's there, and I think the concert is, I think it's tonight. I probably should know this. And Emma is with her friend, and her friend said, I have to go to a wedding. Will you come with me? And Emma's like, sure. Guess where it is? Chicago. So she's flying in from Chicago today in time for the concert. I mean, it's crazy. So I'm home with Bo all by myself, which is kind of nice. That means I get to play in my room. There's nothing stopping me from playing in my room until 9 or 10, but, you know, after dinner, I like to watch TV with Tony. None of that today. Okay, those are done. And this little bar is going to go on. Lots of glue today. Goes right in the middle. And I'm looking at these. This one looks darker, so I'll put the white flower on that one. This one I see a spot there, so this is going to go right over the spot. In the middle, hopefully, the little flags hanging out on either side, maybe. Oh, I shifted the whole circle. Okay, then this one is for a white flower. Pretty. And this one I'm going to stick down, hopefully, like 100%, just because it's on the inside of the card, and it's got all those little pleats and folds in it, and I don't want it to get jammed up in a pleat fold. So that sparkly paper, Pretty Peacock sparkly paper, is cut to 5 1/4 by 10 inches. And I'll repeat all this in a minute. And I'll put it on my blog too. And it's scored at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're like, what? But we'll do that next. Because we have to have something to put all this prettiness on. This one's kind of hanging off way over there. Okay. Dry, dry, dry. Oh, and then the big one for the front. Yeah, it doesn't want to stay closed. And this one I'm going to put glue the center of the flowers and on the lower part only, because I'm fine if the front top part kind of pops up a little bit, so it looks maybe a little realistic. Maybe. Isn't that sweet? As I was looking at these cards, I was showing them to Diane today. It's like, I've got a little bit lot of the blue-green going on. A lot of it. Isn't that sweet? Really cute. That comes in the die set too. So all these other little leaves, I love them, but I'm not quite sure how. I think if I added them to the card, it's already over decorated. I I think that would be even more over decorated. So on the sample, I chose to leave them off. Okay, these three. Oh, I didn't do the other one. The trio. I was looking for this grouping right here. I had to stamp it and cut it out. Okay, so for this part right here, one of them is on a dimensional. How does this happen? I get so much stuff. Okay, so that goes right in the middle. And then these other ones get put on flat with just a little bit of glue. Oh, I could use my picker-upper tool. Picker-upper. Well, that works good. It's right there in my tools. I should use it more often. Sweet. Okay, what should we work on next? How about scoring that big piece? Because all these have to wait for the big piece to be scored. Okay, so here's this piece, which is 10 by 5 1/4, and it is scored at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Whoo-wee! Okay. So 2, 3, and do your best to score it straight. I know you all do, but on the sample, I don't know what happened. Nothing terrible. And I didn't even fix it. It's that minor. But I wish somehow I scored better. Maybe it was just when I was folding it. But I'll show you what not to do. First of all, don't put this piece in until you have the ribbon attached. Okay, so we're done with that. It's like that was a lot of scores. Okay, first just think about it in the card. Here, goes up, down, just accordion, back and forth, back and forth, back. Okay, just as planned. Okay, so I did this the first time. Then when I went to put it in, I don't know if you could see it, but see how it's not perfect? How there's a little bit of the shiny showing through? And that's just because I did it by hand. But maybe now, and that's what I did on the first one, maybe if, take this, line it up with the rest of the paper, see, I could see that it's a little bit off down here and a little bit high there. So fix it. Okay, and I'll show you why that's important. Because when we go to put this inside, we're going to, after I attach this little ribbon piece, I'm going to put adhesive here, put it into the card, and then close the door. And this is pretty straight, but on this sample one, it was just like maybe that much off. So it made this bit right here crooked. And it's not terrible. If I didn't bring your attention to it, you probably wouldn't have noticed, but I noticed. So, but this one looks pretty good. Okay, so the ribbon. This is a really cute die. And I think that the ribbon I'm using is great, looks pretty, but a wider ribbon, that would be good. So here's the ribbon pack. Online exclusive gold and silver trim. And the item is 161633. The interesting thing about this is if you look in the catalog on the ribbon page, they have this ribbon like in a roll on the display page like this. And I'm like, I don't see that ribbon. So I had to call Stampin' Up! And ask them, where's that gold and silver ribbon? I love how bright it is. She's like, you're right, it's not there. And then she went and looked around, and then she came back, she goes, it's an online exclusive. I'm like, oh. She goes, yeah, I don't know why they put it there. But in my head, I'm thinking, if it's in the catalog that lasts for a year, that means they're going to have this probably for the whole year. But isn't that pretty stuff? Oh, we have to do a double bow with this one too. And I look forward to using the gold. I like gold. I like silver too. Well, they're both blingy, that's why. Little double bow. And this is for the front of the card, the double bow. So when I was making the sample, I had the shimmery paper already attached to the inside of the card. It's like, okay, I'll just wrap it around. I was thinking, you know, hindsight is very clear. I wish I would have put the ribbon and that die on before I attached it. So this time, I'm being smart. My fingers might be stuck in a bow, but I have a plan. Yeah, a little bit tight. But I like tiny, I like small bows. It's not tiny, I like small bows. Okay, that's for the front. Okay, let's do this ribbon slide. Slide the ribbon through. So I want to have, see these little flowers? I want those to show. So if I started from this way, I'm covering up the flowers. So you just weave it through. And then, after I get this through, and I cut the ribbon so that there's enough to tuck in on the underside. I don't want to struggle with that, and definitely don't want it to come loose. But I'm going to use the tear tape to hold the ribbon down, and then put another piece of tear tape over the top to just kind of seal it in place. I love this ribbon. And then let's see, what's the next step? The next step, after getting this die and ribbon on the card, on this accordion piece, is to attach the accordion piece to the inside of the card, then attach the little side panels. Okay, there it is. So sticking anything to sparkly paper, it depends on how, I think they're calling this fine sparkle, but if it had like a gritty sparkle, which is great because it's really shimmery, it's kind of hard to attach anything to it. So I'm going to put glue on here, and the glue probably will hold it a bit, But I think it's more wrapping it around with the tear tape that's going to do the most work of attaching it to the card. Just because on the sample, when I put this piece on, it kept on trying to kind of jump up. I'm like, there's glue on there, start sticking glue. But it didn't want to. Okay, let me make sure I get it in the right panel. This panel right here. And I'm going to leave a little bit of a border of the Pretty Peacock sparkly paper. Okay, so now when I let go of this, I'm going to say, yeah, because I could see gaps under there. It's not really holding too much. I think in the end, once the glue starts to become tacky, it will hold down. But right now, I think if I picked it up, it would just fall off. Okay, tear tape for the ribbon. Just doing a little piece and a little piece. Oh, I'm out. Okay, and I'm going to hope this holds down. Can you imagine trying to do this when the card, this inside is already onto the card base? Okay, so that's on there. Now this one, I'm not going to take the paper off, but it just seals it in place. Give it a good smush. Yeah, you can see that it's not really sticking. The next bits of tear tape, some big stuff. A little bit and a little bit. And this is really what holds it in place until the tape is tacky. I gave it a little bit of a tug, and I just wanted to make sure I wasn't puckering the ribbon. Okay, so now maybe the glue will start sticking. Maybe. Okay, so, you know, since this is out, I'm going to do, ooh, that's pretty too, though. Oh no, this one I'm doing a little weird. That one definitely goes there. Okay, this one, I'm kind of liking that. Look how well it matches. But I like the leaves. You know, I think I'm going to do this side. Just because I flipped it over. Oh, gotta sneeze. Because this one has the leaves on it. This has the leaves. The one we're doing today, no leaf. Okay, this side is going to go in. Shaking it up here. But it's so hard to cover up that prettiness. Okay, that's looking good. Let's do this bit right here. Oh, I still haven't stamped those. Let me do that. I stamped them, but because they're close together, they're going to be hand cut. With a little bit of a white border. And because the paper I'm going to put it on is a light tone, similar colors, it doesn't have to be perfect. If it was like putting it on navy or the peacock, yeah, you really could see that little border. But because I'm going to put it on a light color, it's not as obvious. Then I'm going to put sequins in the middle of the flowers. I would do those gems, but there's already so much going on this card, and the gems add a little bit of bulk to it. I think the sequins are a better fit. And I like using new stuff. Hey. Okay, so this is going to go here. It's going to go there. Glue, come on glue, you can hold out a little bit longer. I have another bigger bottle, but I like this tiny little bottle. So it's almost Oma's 95th birthday. Can you believe that? I'm so happy for her, and she's doing so good. So we're going to go to, I didn't leave enough room, to Sacramento here soon. Let me see if I pull this up. No, I'm just going to leave it. I'll pretend like I put, well, that one is a mess. I put lots of glue on that. Okay. I'll just pretend like I planned it that way. Okay, now I'll probably have to push that down a little further again. Oh, I put a lot of glue up there. Okay, so I think it's time to start assembling. You know, that's a lot of glue. Let me work on the top, because there's this one. And that just gets stuck down with glue. Oh yeah, let's do the sparkle. And sparkle, sparkle, and bow. Need to get it refilled. Ooh, this one's like, you haven't used me in a long time. And that can go right here. Okay, and then I'll put the bow on with a glue dot followed up with glue. Bow, it's right here. Isn't that pretty? I love how bright the sparkle is on it. Okay, a little bit of glue so it doesn't come off in the envelope. Okay, and then sparkle. 5 sparkles. This one keeps popping open. I know, it's thick. Okay, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Here they are. Okay, so 2 of this size on the flower centers. I don't want the bow to cover up the flower center. There, you just dry just like that. Don't move. Dry. Okay. And then the 3 black ones up in the corner. I'm going to hold this up close here in just a minute. I hope you could see how pretty these gems are. Okay, is it going to stay? It's moving. Just don't cover up the bling and we're good. Can you see how pretty those are? Okay, I'm going to put the block on this. Hopefully it will dry. Okay, let's see what else we could do on here. See, these little bits, we'll wait till we get it done, but I think that it's just going to be too much. They're so cute though. Okay, so because there's a flower there, put this one here. Friend, the words go in the middle, but I don't want it to be just staggered, stair-stepped. So I'll put this one about here. Maybe, how did I do this one? Yeah, like that. But one thing to think about when you're applying your circles, this one is no problem. This one is no problem because nothing is hanging over the edge of the scallop circle. But this one has to come out just a little bit because the flower, I don't want it to get bunched up into the crack. Oh, and I had to put the sequins on here too, and on here. Bling, bling. Let's start with this one. Oh, and I have it on this side. And only half of it. So this half right here. And then a little bit on the flowers, hoping it will stick to the sparkly paper. Okay, so, and I have it drop down just a little bit from the top, and then avoiding the crack. I'll hold this up here in just a minute. I have a little bit of a gap there. This one is going to go just on this side. So this one I'm going to have it, this circle, I'll have it the same amount from the distance. See, from the crack down, that's maybe a little more than 1/4 inch. So this one is a little more than 1/4 inch. And I'm just setting it on top right now. Once the glue starts to dry and get tacky, oop, I have that crooked. I'll really smush it down. Okay, and then this one is going to go in the middle and glue just here. So it's going to go about here. I'm looking at where this one is, that one is. Right about in the middle. And again, avoiding the crease. Okay, the words are straight. Okay. See, I don't think that these little things, I don't know where to put them on because it's just going to get too busy. Like I was thinking maybe here or over like in the middle, but it's like, oh, there's a lot going on here. Okay, so see how there's like a little more than 1/4 inch, a little more than 1/4 inch. And then this one is avoiding the crease. I put glue on those white flowers. try to really stick them down now. Oh, that's the tear tape on the underside. If ever you have something that's sticky and you don't want it sticky, get your embossing buddy and put powder on it. It's not sticky anymore. Okay, that's good. Okay, I think it's time to put this inside. I don't know why that's looking dirty. I think that's where I put on too much glue. Oh, now I'm messing up the paper. I'll just leave it like that. Okay, so that's good. Those, I guess they'll go in a different project. So it's time to stick this on the inside of the card. Okay, let's see. The bow started to dry, so it's not getting in the way of the bling anymore. But I have glue all over there, so I have to be a little careful. So I'm going to put adhesive all on here. Okay, this I just want right about there, just so that the smoky slate border is equal all the way around. Okay, and then adhesive on this panel. And to make sure I'm going to have the card close, have this closed, then close the door. Okay, look at that. It's almost done. Just need to sparkle up the inside a bit. You know, the centerpiece, I have to keep on guiding it to make sure it goes the right direction. I think after I have the card sitting here closed, maybe I'll put some weight on it. It'll know. That's what you do. Oh, this one's behaving. Okay, so I'm going to put sequins on here and on here, on these three, and then these two. Lots of sequins. And I'll do little ones on the little flowers and bigger medium size on the white flowers. So, it's a little bit of glue. I'll just do the little ones first. That picker-upper. Okay, little ones. The picker-upper is great, but that means that I have to have my finger there to hold it down when I release the picker-upper. These sequins are so pretty. It takes a bit for the glue to dry underneath them though. Because the sample I did it before I went out with Diane, and it's still a little bit wet underneath. I see the white from the glue. now, these 3 little ones. Yeah, there's 3 size sequins in here. One more. It's like hard to know. Do I have it the right side up or is it upside down? It's hard to tell. Okay, those are done. Now, 2. One here. Maybe I'll use a large and a medium. These are medium, large, medium, large. Okay. Large, medium, large. So if you get this package of sequins, I think you're going to be wowed by how pretty they are. Usually I'm a sequin naysayer. Like, yeah, I'm not putting sequins on, but I've come around that I really like sequins. Okay, are we done? I think that's it. The inside is all decorated. See the sequins on there? And the front is decorated. That's it. See, that wasn't so bad, huh? Actually, it's kind of really pretty. Kind of really. Okay, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I love to try to keep you inspired. And I'll put a list of all the products used in the description of the video and a link to my blog that will show the photos and the paper cut sizes. Okay, have a great day.